So next we have from Saskatchewan, Jordan and Jennifer Lindgren.
There's up here. Okay.
Good morning. My name is Jordan Lindgren, and this is my wife, Jennifer. We are excited and honored to be here today to represent Saskatchewan and share with you our passion for family and agriculture. Together with our family, Jackson, Alexis, Weston, and Bristol, we own and operate Lindgren Farms.
Jordan and I met at the University of Saskatchewan, where we both received a diploma in agriculture. I grew up on a mixed family farm. There were no boys in our family, so at an early age I was at my parents' side doing everything farming. I loved being my dad's right-hand girl. We were also in the purebred cattle business, so I was fortunate to grow up showing cattle as well as being involved in the 4-H program. I got to watch my parents work side by side on the farm, and I knew that when I grew up, I wanted to have that too.
I'm a fourth generation farmer on our Century family farm. Growing up, I lived next to my grandparents on the farm, and I am grateful that my children get to experience that too. I had great role models and teachers when it came to farming and life. My dad and my uncle were partners on the farm, and I couldn't wait to work alongside them. These are our people, our role models. After Jen and I were married, we started a succession plan with my aunt and uncle, as well as my mom and dad. If we were going to purchase what they had built in 35 years, we wanted to have a plan and prepare. In 2014, we were ready, and we were able to purchase aunt and uncle's share in the farm, and in 2017, my parents. They all still play active roles in the farm at seeding and harvest. They are always there to bounce ideas off of, and we continue to learn from their experience. We are grateful to have them work alongside our kids and maintain a multi-generational work environment.
Our farm is located 5 miles southwest of Norquay, which is in the northeast part of Saskatchewan. And it sometimes can be referred to as God's country, as we're fortunate to have rich soil, and we can sometimes get the right weather at the right time. We seed 11,500 acres and custom farm about 1,000. In 2010, we moved to the farm. It was important to Jordan and I that our family works together and lives on the farm on a daily basis. I feel lucky to have amazing in-laws. It's not a lot of families that can work side by side, live in the same yard, and enjoy every minute of it. The top picture you see here is from 2012, and the bottom one is from this past October. We've cleaned up and expanded the yard by removing the old shelter belt and replacing it with a new shelter belt 4 times the size with 5 rows of trees. We did this in preparation of building a working facility and a larger bin yard. We have put in a larger natural gas line this past year to run our facility, as well as being able to run a larger, more efficient grain drying system in the future. We are constantly working towards making our yard and our farm more efficient.
We seed a 50-50 split of canola and wheat. We have grown other crops in the past, but we feel we can profit from these crops, so we focus on what we do well and how to improve on making them better. Soil health and improvement are not overlooked. We do yearly soil samples and analysis to help determine what each field needs to make it be the most productive. Yearly field trials are done with different fertilizer and product applications to see what rate and method is going to give us the biggest return on investment. We use sectional control on all of our application equipment to allow for more accurate application of these products with no overlap. In the past, the farm had burnt all of our straw to help manage it, but recently we have started incorporating the organic matter back into the soil. In our field trials, we are always testing new varieties. This allows us to see firsthand which variety is going to produce the best. This year we seeded Eli and Brandon hard red spring wheats and Invigor 233P canola.
The sprayer starts in May and it doesn't shut down until September. A few years ago, we started top dressing all of our wheat with nitrogen. This has shown a positive increase in both yield and protein, while also helping reduce straw growth. By using this method, it allows the crop to get what it needs at the right time. It also helps reduces the nitrogen leaching into the soil, as well as helps with the straw management. And with our tight crop rotation, we treat everything with fungicides.
Last year, we straight cut all of our Invigor canola acres, which enabled us to eliminate the process of swathing ahead of the combines. Looking at the results from last year and the previous years of trials, we have seen a consistent increase in yield and decrease in harvest loss. We get better fall weed control, and it allows the canola to mature to its full potential. Our farm sold to swathers, and we now straight cut all of our canola acres.
Harvest, the most wonderful time of the year. This is the time of year when our family and our farm family come together to harvest a crop that we have spent all spring and summer tending to. Harvest 2018 came with its challenges. Most years, we can complete harvest in about 4 weeks, but this year we started in late August and didn't finish till October. The picture you see here with the snowman was September 22nd, and that was one of 3 snowfalls we had this harvest. The photo next to it was our last day of combining. We know that Mother Nature holds the cards and doesn't always make it easy, but we know that if we work together and stay positive, we can all get the job done.
Getting a hot home-cooked meal during harvest is priority on our farm. It's a time to take a breath and to show some appreciation. Grain storage and having enough is important. For those of you that are unsure what those white sausages are, those are grain bags. In the past, we would bag all of our grain on each field, but a few years ago we moved all of the bags to a central location. This helped reduce with wildlife damage, as well as made it easier when it was time to haul the grain in the winter. All of our grain bags are recycled and taken to this collection site you see below. With the large quantity of grain that we need to handle this year, we are currently in the process of building some more bins and expanding our bin yard. Farming is a business and management is key. Jennifer and I work together as a team. We feel that communication is essential in our farming operation, not only with each other, but with our employees as well. My dad and my uncle taught me that good communication and appreciation on a daily basis is key to maintaining strong working relationships.
Our farm is lucky to have great employees. They are our farm family. We need reliable people to help get the job done. We are very fortunate to have a team that cares for our land as much as we do.
As the farm grows, it is a business, but we strive to maintain the family farm aspect and feel. Without our family, what are we doing this for? This harvest was a great view into the future of our farm. Our kids all played active roles this year. As Jen was on the combine, my daughter Lexi was making suppers, Jackson was running the auger, and Weston and Bristol were helping me wherever they could. This truly makes our hearts burst. Our goal is to ensure that our farm is viable and sustainable for them.
Watching our kids become more involved in the farm sparked our excitement to share this passion with the next generation and our love for agriculture. We want to share our knowledge with kids and teach them where their food comes from. Social media can sometimes give some untrue views on agriculture, but we feel that if we can give the kids the correct information early, we can provide them with a solid foundation. This spring, our idea became a reality when we partnered with the Ministry of Agriculture and Egg in the Classroom to host our first food farm. We hosted 4 schools of about 150 grade 3 and 4 kids.
Our spring food farm was a full-day event with 12 different stations. It was a burger and chipped theme day. The focus was to teach the kids about planting and seeding, the equipment farmers use, what the seed needs to grow, and how to protect it. This included explaining soil health and fertility, seed identification, as well as crop management and pests. The kids got to plant their own plants and feel the soil. We also had a calf to explain the parts of an animal and how they work, why animals are tagged, and how they are handled.
It was amazing feeling to see the kids so excited about agriculture, but it was also shocking how little these kids knew when they came from a rural community. Over 25% of the kids had never been to a farm. After feeding them lunch, I had numerous kids come up to me, excited for the afternoon to start. They just couldn't wait to learn more about farming and agriculture.
Another large focus of our food farm is farm safety. In the spring, we talked about PTOs. We had a straw man that we put into a PTO to help demonstrate what would happen if they were caught in one. This was eye-opening for the kids as they did not know how powerful the machine was. We talked about lawnmower safety and also did a chemical look-alike activity.
It was a no-brainer that we would want to do a fall food farm to continue the process of teaching them how the food gets to their plate. We did a half day in September, and although it was a cold and rainy day, it didn't slow down the kids or our volunteers. The kids were now able to learn about harvesting the grain. They got to put wheat into a mini combine. They got to take canola, roll the seeds, and see the oil that comes from it. These kids were now able to put together that when they put margarine on their toast, this stuff is all grown in their backyard. The tomatoes, potatoes, and onions that they planted in the spring could now be harvested by them. We talked about GMOs, what they are, and demonstrated with Legos how genes are exchanged to help make the plant stronger. The kids also got to pet Peppa the pig and learned about the pigs and the byproducts that come from them. In the fall, we tried to focus the safety on the season. We had gloves that we filled with pasta sauce and demonstrated what would happen if their limbs got caught in the auger or in a belt. There were more than a few kids that were not afraid of what the auger could do. Their reaction to this demonstration was enough to know that they're going to think twice. Grain drowning was our other big safety topic. It was scary how many kids thought it would be super fun to sink down into a pile of grain. We taught the kids and showed them what happened to their lungs when it became surrounded by grain. We both find these days so rewarding. To share our farm and our love for agriculture with these kids, we just can't wait to do it in the spring.
The Field of Dreams. A few years ago, we partnered with Prairie Soil Services, as well as Pattison Ag, Bayer Crop Science, and ATP Nutrition to do field trials. We would then host a farm tour to showcase all of our trials. Working closely with our agronomist, we put together field-sized trials of the newest varieties, products, and rates, as well as different equipment practices. This gives us first-hand experience of what grows well on our land. We also do an 80-acre field of wheat and an 80-acre field of canola that is pushed to maximize productivity. We are then able to share this information with other farmers and leaders in the industry on the Field of Dreams Tour Day at the end of July. There are about 100 farmers that attend this tour, and they're from all over the province.
There are many people who make these trials and day happen. This year we are excited to bring some amazing guest speakers, as well as host a small trade show, which was an opportunity for new products to be displayed and discussed.
Jen and I are always willing to try and test productivity to the max to see what we can achieve. The last couple of years we have entered the Canola 100 Challenge, where we attempt to achieve 100 bushels per acre. Last year we were 5th in Western Canada with 78 bushel per acre, which is about twice the provincial average. We are also last year's winner of our local Canola King Challenge.
We feel very fortunate to come from an amazing community with big hearts. Being active community members and giving back to the community is very important. We are part of the Kernels for Hope program, which helped farmers in third world countries purchase supplies and agriculture equipment. We are a member of our local Kinsman in Norquay, where one loaf of bread can be sold for $1,000. It really is something to see. My friends and I started a 5-kilometer mud race for the Children's Hospital Foundation of Saskatchewan. The Farmers Filthy 5 race was a hit. I mean, who wouldn't want to run through mud and do farmer-style obstacles along the way? We just did our 5th year this year. I love coaching. I coach the junior basketball programs at the school. Helping kids and adults build strength physically and emotionally is so rewarding. Jordan is Vice President of the Norquay Wildlife Federation and has just helped complete rejuvenating a local lake by revitalizing the fish and cleaned up the shoreline and added a beautiful picnic area. We are thrilled to be starting a 4-H crops project this year. We are excited to learn from a fellow OYF member about their crops club. I wasted no time in getting this started. This was an opportunity for our kids, as well as other kids in the community, to tend to their own crop. My kids also love public speaking. It's been a favorite part for them. All 4 kids are involved in every activity they can try, from keeping their Ukrainian heritage alive and dance, to hockey, volleyball, basketball, lacrosse, speed swimming, and sledding, to just name a few.
Most days we feel like we're traveling in circles and we need clones to be in more than one place at a time. But we do take time to just be. Be together as a family, to shut the world off for short moments. Our motto always with our kids has to been work hard and play hard. We purchased a cabin this spring with no cell service, or as my kids say, off the grid. It allows us to reconnect with each other and have some fun.
We take pride in what we do. We love the challenges of farming, but we love the simplicities of farming. The smell of freshly turned soil in the spring, the hum of the combines in the fall, watching our kids drive a tractor for the first time are all moments that never get old. We continue to challenge and expand our knowledge to improve our farming practices. We are dedicated to ensure we will maintain a family atmosphere on our farm and continue to educate and share our passion for agriculture with the next generation. This year has been quite an adventure, and we can't wait to see what next year brings. Yeah, we're done. We're done.
Yep, we're good. Yep, betcha.
Thank you too. Okay, we'll start with our first question.
Thank you very much. It was a great presentation, John Proing from Manitoba. You have a farm which is a very high-risk business. You're growing a commodity. You're a commodity grower. What Mother Nature, has its own inherent risks, and of course the banker wants to be paid. What risk management strategies do you employ so that you can sleep at night?
That's a great question. We have surrounded ourselves with a team. We employ accountants, our bankers, people that can advise us at the best way to mitigate risk. That's the biggest thing, is the stress with farming. They've given us the points that we need to help build, whether it's crop insurance, building our averages up well above the area averages. We're building our reference margins with AgriStability, AgriInvest. Those aren't, you never want an insurance farm, but it sure is nice to know that at the end of the day, if sometimes the combine doesn't turn a wheel, you're going to be here next year. And it's those advisors that steer us through that.
Carl Marquis, Quebec. Congratulations. As we can see, you have an intensive form of agriculture. You use a lot of technology, lots of different technology, GMO, everything that's up to date. How do you react to people who say that we should be more green, more organic, more healthier, etc.?
Another great question. Obviously, there's a lot of things going on out there in social media and everywhere with things that maybe put a negative spin on the things that maybe we're practicing on our farm. I guess we want to be science-driven, not fear-driven. That's why we're doing all the tests that we're doing, all the trials that we're doing. There's nothing that we want to do on our farm that's going to harm any of us or our kids. We want to be here in the future. So that's why we do all these tests and trials, to make sure that what we're doing is safe and healthy, and trying to promote that as well and get this knowledge out there instead of maybe the fear side of it.
And I guess we handle that through our passion for teaching the next generation. I think it's so important that we're educating our kids and our friends' kids, or just bringing them to the farm and understanding at a young age what farmers do, and that we're always looking out for their best interests.
And I think that there are a lot of opinions out there, and opinions are important. What we're trying to drive is science-based facts instead of just opinion-based fear.
Good job, guys. Chad Krickow, Rostron, Saskatchewan. You mentioned your 50-50 wheat canola farm. I'm just curious if you've done some research on different rotation in case perhaps clubroot becomes a problem for you in canola, or maybe some other pest in wheat.
Certainly we have, and like I said, we've grown crops in the past, multiple oats, barley, peas, some soybeans that hopefully the genetics, since we've grown it, have come a long way. There's been some hard lessons along the way. I think that's why we focus so hard on doing the trials and incorporating things, meetings like this and with groups of people that work for them. Let's implement those things on our farm to see how, if they're going to work in our operation instead of maybe just reading about it. And, you know, we want details. We want years of because it is going to be a problem, you know, and we want to make sure we're ahead of that problem. Are you sure? Are you sure? Yeah. Thank you, guys.